Okay, we are live, I guess, and yeah, we are live. मैं इधर देखता हूँ मोबाइल पे। ये एक दिन और मैं ट्राई करूँगा गेम कि कैसा है क्या है, बिकॉज ट्राई तो करना पड़ता है यार। ऐसा नहीं अपन एक दिन खेल के 2 घंटा वो भी नींद में मैं नहीं डिसाइड कर सकता कि मेरे को खेलना ही नहीं खेलना है। सो एक मिनट सिर्फ वो कंफर्म करने दो कि मेरा हुआ है कि नहीं हुआ है। थोड़ा डायलॉग है भी है गेम, तो अपने को देखना पड़ेगा भी। ठीक है, पहले देखते हैं बुक स्टोर में जाके। मेरे को लग रहा है उधर ही कुछ हो सकता है अभी अपने पास तो। मेरा कुछ डब किया है क्या वो? आई थिंक माई कंट्रोलर इज बस्टेड गाइस, 2 मिनट रुकना।
Hello again, sir. My name is Annette, sir. My mum, her name is Plaisance. She owns the store. She's inside minding the register. Feel free to step in and browse our wares.
बुक स्टोर में जाने का ऑप्शन ओके चालू है। पता नहीं यार, बट हाउ डू आई गेट द इंफॉर्मेशन दैट ही नीड्स, ताकि मैं वो स्विच चालू कर सकूं। ये क्या है? बुक कलेक्ट नेशनल रेसिपीज आ रहा था। ओके
A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types of games for all ages. A lot of shelf space seems to be taken up by Wirral-related merchandise. An endless variety of source books Law books and codices litter the table. The topmost book is titled Welkin Compendium, Second Edition. There's also a large hardbound tome with intricate cover art, The Hunters of Catawak, Boreal Creature Compendium, and a Pick Your Path adventure game book titled Tales of Wirral. Cat books in a board game section? Who wants to read books? There's a box that says Wirral, 3rd edition Mega Setting Supplements Module. The side panel notes, a fantastique adventure board game, new maps and miniatures. A sticker on it displays 25 real. That price is steep, but then it's the 3rd edition Mega Setting Supplement, so it makes sense.
Wonderful board games, sir. The Viticulturist is a classic for sure. Or Browbritter is a fun game of economic competition, but can get quite intense after a while. We have games for the whole family. You can play with your children.
Who are you going to play board games with? Do you have friends or family? It certainly feels like whatever you are will die with you.
Friends are technically like family. For playing with friends, I'd recommend Suzerainty. It's a civilization building game where you build a civilization, then set off to brutally colonize. Lousy auras there. No, role-playing games are popular among those types. You know, who are into those kind of things. Personally, I don't like it. Not at all. I've heard they turn people into occult enthusiasts. That they have rituals where they try to summon entities. Highly immoral stuff. You can still buy them, though. Lousy aura. I've heard wonderful Browbritter.
Who are you going to play board games with? Then don't.
Don't be so hard on yourself, sir. You just need to clean up a bit. And technically, for playing with friends, I'd recommend...
These shelves are overburdened with books from the same series. You see the name Dick Mullen over and over. Crime fiction is a disgrace. An asinine misrepresent. These books greatly overstate the excitement of police work, glossing over how long it takes to actually follow up on leads and eliminate dead ends. What's more, they completely ignore the psychological hardships of year after year coming into contact with people during the worst days of their lives. Not a single mention of all the stress this work creates upon the officer's family. Detective fiction just doesn't tell the truth at all. Now, would you like a list of all the books found on the shelf? You see Dick Mullen on the job. Get me Mullen. The stalwart adventures of Richard P. A killing is declared. Dick Mullen in the murder house. The final case of Dick Mullen. An obvious lie. Dick Mullen in the clock tower. The owner turns out he faked it to solve a case. Shelves filled to the brim with crime novels feature.
Oh, crime, robberies, murders, even sexual crimes. You're a police...
सब नहीं सुनने का अपने को जितना सुनना है उतना ही सुनना है.
The plaque on the shelf reads, Biographies of Famous People. You see a large variety. Browsing through all the books with all their names makes your head spin. None of these seem important or relevant. Suddenly, a particularly odd title catches your eye. It reads, High Speed Love, The Tragic True Love. High Speed Love chronicles the romance between two of the finest tip-top tourney racers in history. One of them is the madcap driver, Jacob Irv. Next to Irv's life story, you see a slim biography of an Occidental rock star called the Anti-Star. He's famous for shooting morphine into one of his... Next to that, Revacholian radio personality Guillaume Bevy stands.
I really must insist you buy one of the books. Reading them is not for free. Do still browse them. I'm sorry, I did not mean to rush you. You are browsing. Go ahead. Take your time.
Several maps have been attached to a bulletin board hidden inside
they are
the alcove.
filled by small
They're
print
held up
borders
by
completely
small.
small.
The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of Insulinda, a map of Revachol, and a map of Martinez. The north coast of a verdant island is shattered by the delta of a river. It is the River Esperance. Countless bridges put the shards back together, connecting city blocks to river islands. La Delta says a great artificial heart in the center, teeming with life. To the east, rolling hillsides, Le Jardin, Stella Marie, the suburbs of Saint-Baptiste, swallowed up into the megacity. They sound rich. Houdon, it's somewhere to live. Not bad. Then there's Jamrock. It's bad. People shouldn't live there, but they do. Then Forberg. It's almost as bad, and much larger. Then Coal City. It's the worst. It's so small you can't even see it on the map. No, wait. There it is. North of Jamrock. The strip of coast. No. This is somewhere to be. This is all you have. But it's still something. This large map displays archipelagos. You see a constellation of small dots, Ozon, Laurentide, Fas Alamet, disintegrating into mathematics. In the northeast, a dust mite stands on the north coast of Caillou, in a bookstore. You can, on Caillou, Revachol, a single black lost little pearls of light. 850 million people live on these little dots. An oceanic world of culture and the ocean breaks apart into a tangle of cosines and azimuths, all pointing into pale nothingness. Windy, connections to other worlds, words past the Insulindian, unknown to you. You have little idea what they are. Distant stars, gods, but looking at them makes you feel almost non-existent. Whatever they are, the Isolas are immeasurably large compared to you. Perhaps they are gods. Gods of... It's not really a map. It's a tourist thing. A picture postcard with buildings on it. Drawn. Still, it's detailed.
I'm sorry, officer. The map of Martinez is the only one available. The other two are not for sale anymore. And besides, you could scarcely afford them.
Are you
They're
serious?
quite valuable, though they might not look it. The map of Martinez is 90 cents, though. That old thing? It's an out-of-date map of a tourist location that never was nor came to be. From when some design studio people tried to spruce the place up 4 or 5 years ago. They also renovated the horse statue, set up those coin-operated views.
The place does not look like a successful tourist trap, does it?
They didn't get that far, for some reason. A shame the project never got going. Would be nice if someone fixed Martinez up. All these ruins are bad for business.
Slowly, you move your hand toward the map attached to the board. Before you even reach the map,
Perhaps not. It's against RCM policy to defraud small business owners.
अच्छा इसको छोड़ के आना पड़ेगा रात में मेरे को मतलब
this bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance, and biographies of famous people.
Sir, please, I can't have you end up...
Amidst the various books, you find one written by... These 3 things are very important to the working class mind. The point of the book, and many others on this shelf, is to give people medicinal advice in situations where they don't have access to paid health services. Various paranatural books still litter the shelf.
अपने को मैप चुराने के लिए रात में आना पड़ेगा सोने के टाइम पे ठीक है अभी तो देख ही बजा यार मैं कैसे आऊँगा किम को कैसे मैं सल्टा हुआ यार अभी इज देयर एनी वे आई कैन क्योंकि ये सो जाएगा ना तो अपन आ सकते हैं आई गेस
Yes,
Excuse me? You have a distinctive way of walking. If I were to walk in front of you, we would surely collide. I hope you don't take this the wrong way. It's just a collegial observation. In the 57th, we call it the Jamrock Shuffle. Officers from Jamrock's 41st Precinct they say it's a scene-clearing technique developed by one of your lieutenants for gathering evidence. It's erratic, yet thorough. Prioritizes containers.
He simply nods. Passing along frivolous interdepartmental stereotypes is not usually his oeuvre. He regrets bringing it up.
What do you want to know? Maybe you can tell me what you do know, to help me narrow it down a bit. Do you want me to brief you? 3 days ago, the RCM Emergencies Desk received a report about a security guard who was found hanged in Martinez. An anonymous caller said there was a dead body behind the Whirling in Rags hostel cafeteria. The cadaver had been there for 4 days. No one had come to investigate. During that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. The caller did not identify him, but used the word lynching. There is an ongoing labor dispute between the local dock workers and the logistics company Wild Pines. I was told we should approach the death as part of this dispute. A security guard or worker of some sort, hired by Wild Pines. This was just hearsay from Martinez, of course. They didn't identify themselves in any way. The tone was muffled using a device of some sort. The desk could identify neither the caller's age. There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen as union matters. The dock workers' union is the de facto police in Martinez. Now it appears they've started executing too. We cannot allow that. That's us, the Revachol Citizens Militia. We're the
RCM, or the Revachol Citizen Militia, is the police force you and him are part of. A self-organized peace corps of the occupied city of Revachol. The RCM operates within a legal twilight, yet its authority is rarely questioned. It's super useful to know this.
That's right. You mean like a brief? There's no reason to wing anything. If you did 3 days ago, there was a security guard or worker of some sort. They didn't. Just to be clear, we are police officers. It's our job. No, it's not a particularly mysterious case. The deceased is a security guard for a corporation involved in a labor dispute. It doesn't take a DeLorean polymath to put the pieces together. I just don't see the case getting more mysterious than that. Then you are in luck, because we are in the midst of a major strike by the dock workers' union. Maybe more than that. The union clearly wants a peace, not just of the industrial harbor.
Is this a strike then? Or the first shots in a...
I expect the case itself to be less challenging than navigating these community matters. This district isn't used to the RCM's presence, and the union rarely overplays its hand, as it appears to have done in this strike, coup, revolution.
You feel something rising through you, a familiar feeling, an opinion taking form.
When I said we have to navigate community matters, I did not mean we have any say in them. I meant we should be careful. If we are not, the shit will blow right in our faces.
From an imaginary fact.
Now, was there anything else you wanted to know about the case? I'm afraid you and I are pawns in a pissing competition.
His disdain is clear. This man would not use such an expression otherwise.
You don't know? I assumed you were in on it. It's just stupidity. We shouldn't waste any more time on it. If you want my take, ask later. Was there anything else you wanted to know about? No, it's not a particular. The deceased is a security guard for a corporation involved in a labor dispute. It doesn't take a DeLorean polymath to put the piece. I can assure nothing like that will happen. Do you know why not? No, something isn't happening. Because it's not part of reality.
So desperately mundane. You need to funk this case. There's something the lieutenant isn't...
No, it's not a particularly mysterious case. The deceased is a security guard for a corporation involved in a... I can assure nothing like that will happen. Because it's not part of...
So desperately... There's something the lieutenant isn't seeing.
No, it's not. The deceased is a security... I'm relieved that you agree.
He is glad and surprised to see an officer who can appreciate the less than spectacular.
Do you know the feeling when you've begun filling in a crossword, but some of your answers don't quite seem to fit? That's the feeling I have right now, for some reason. It will turn into quite the puzzle yet, I'm afraid. Good. Me? I don't see how my life is pertinent to the investigation. Ah, if you insist. What do you want to know? That's because I'm half Seolite, or quarter. My father's father was from Seoul. So was my grandmother, but from my mother's side. It's not an interesting topic. It's a part of the world, officer. A geopolitical entity.
Seoul is a protectionist, isolationist, pan-Isolari state west of the Insulindian Isola. Actually, it's quite interesting. Some would even say mysterious.
You're barking up the wrong tree. I don't speak a word of Seolite. I've never met either one of my grandparents, and I've never been to Seoul. That's correct.
You feel a slight urge to put the lieutenant down for this, but you can't quite muster enough testosterone.
I guess you don't need glasses, then. That's correct.
You feel...
Are they? They are mostly just...
You could use a good, normal pair yourself.
No.
Your brain sends the signal to your lips, but they refuse the order. Something is paralyzing them. You're pretty sure it has something to do with the lieutenant's eyebrow.
Something the matter, detective?
This guy's got authority off the charts. With just the flick of his eyebrow, he's nothing. You better hope he doesn't abuse his authority. There's a lot of it. If the lieutenant were an evil man, who knows? Fortunately, he is a committed officer of the RCM. The lieutenant relaxes his eye.
What do you mean? I have no idea.
The lieutenant's concept. The lieutenant is a police officer of the old school. His concerns are material and extrinsic. But this isn't an old school case.
I can't say that it does, no. When I need to...
The lieutenant produces his small blue notebook and idly thumbs through a few pages. That's where his conversations with himself. We all have our different mediums.
Good. Let's change the subject.
No response. He just arches. He's having trouble processing it. Believing it even.
Have you tried concentrating on something other than your...
There is a sudden, harsh edge to his voice, like he's tired of hearing about your personal affairs.
Not a fan.
The RCM deploys a self-styled structure called the décomptage as its chain of command. Every lieutenant is responsible for 2 sergeants and 8 officers. That means the average lieutenant has to deal with quite a few personal affairs. Even
Try work. The case at hand. It can work miracles. Fine. We should get through this day first. Off hours begin at 9 p.m. If you're still having trouble then, I can give you an orientation. Really? You look fine to me. This psychodrama is unbecoming of...
clearly, he prefers to think you're malingering. He cannot fathom that anyone could drink so much as to retroactively erase their entire...
Then you should consider seeking medical attention. You can use the radio in my kinema to call your station's Lazareth. Was there...
अभी तो ठीक है, थोड़ा लेफ्ट साइड एक्सप्लोर करके आते हैं, मैं भी उधर कुछ हूँ.
The streets will flow red once more, a great torrent rushing down Rue de Esperance. You wait and see.
The streets will not flow red with anything.
I'm Cindy the fucking Skull. What else do you want to know? Date of birth, blood type, the last time I was tested for Hep C. And here I was trying to be polite. Just can't win with you pigs.
She nods disdainfully toward the woman performing maintenance on the boat docked next to the pier. Hatred, disgust, it's difficult to tell which of the two is more present. The woman on the boat does not notice her staring.
That Ozon her. Someone's got to keep an eye on her.
Ozon is an archipelago 2 days' travel away from Rivershaw. Its moneyed residents, used to posh restaurants and upscale boutiques, rarely ever...
Probably the Wild Pines rep. We should talk to her. She's a professional negotiator, though. I have the feeling she will be very cooperative while telling her... You should take the lead. Ask her unexpected questions, you know? Do your thing. Don't be afraid to get a bit wacky. Throwing her off is our best.
Good idea, piggies. Run along. Can't you tell? I'm pacing. I haven't really started it yet. I'm waiting for the right words. Yeah? Thanks. I'm sure the inspiration will come to me now.
She means the opposite. You've lessened her desire to deface the building.
I ain't no snitch, pigstein. Go forth and forage in someone else's shit.
Actually, there is a shortage of people who talk to us in a normal, calm, informative...
We weren't put on this earth to make your life pleasant. Can't you? I haven't. This place is severely lacking in habit. I thought I'd mix it up. You know, have you ever tried your hand at graffiti-o? When faced with a block, we rarely see pigs round here, though.
She wants it to be something true and...
Yeah? Lying is cool, I guess. Can't you tell? I haven't really... Yeah?
Let's be realistic. What are you going...
You heard your partner, Piggy. Watch your back, ungulate.
A sturdy metal door guards. The door rattles against your knuckles, but there's no response. The door rattles again, but this time you hear an elderly woman's voice calling out from inside.
Stop banging on the door! I'm not letting any more strangers inside. The police? Everyone knows the police don't come round here. No, I already told you. I won't be Go check the backyard door. Maybe someone there will.
Backyard door? There must be another entrance.
Madame, I assure you, we are real police officers.
There is no reply. The door rattles.
Stop banging on the door! I'm not letting... Doesn't matter who I am. Now go on. The police? Everyone knows the police. No, I already told you. Go check...
Backyard door? There must be another entrance to the east. A striking woman leans against the cabin top of her safe.
Good afternoon, officers. I'm Joyce. Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbour. You gentlemen must be from the RCM. Peyton, my maiden name. I meant you, the Revachol Citizens Militia, the police. Nothing, honestly. I've said it to every drunk in town, and you're the first one.
What is implied here? That you're a drunk? She hasn't actually said it to every drunk in town. It was spoken in jest.
Of course you're not. It was only a joke. I'm glad to see you here. I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM?
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode. Very unusual.
There's a trace of irony in his voice.
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation. Why, yes I am. Officer, I assure you
The crowns of her teeth are porcelain, white as the boat. Her nonchalance might be related to something called the Wayfarer Act. A law that says she...
Of course there are. We're on an archipelago. How else are you supposed to get around? I mean, we are on Le Caillou, are we not? We are. And the city of Revachol is on the island of Le Caillou. I haven't seen anyone else drive a souped-up Capri.
Actually, that motor carriage has been specially issued to serve as a patrol. It's for crossing, no?
Neither is this. A toy, I mean. It's a machine for crossing long distances.
You need to make this lady admit she's only riding around on this boat because she's rich. Before you do, it would be pertinent to ask other questions. Gather more info on this boat of hers.
Officer.
The Crown, her nonchalance might be related to something called the wave.
Oh my. The E word. You mean to say that it's a symbol of conspicuous consumption? That I'm a member of the ruling class?
Detective, may I remind you that Mrs. Messier is a professional negotiator.
Then what does that say? Does it say docking reserved for residents of Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33A? This old proletarian haunt here. As I said, plenty of people drive boats of all social strata.
She takes a sip.
Okay. Of course.
Nothing happens for quite a while. It doesn't.
No worries. We can just go back to discussing my fast, large, interminably middle-class boat. Oh my. The E word.
Detective, may I remind you...
Then what does that say? 33A? This old proletarian... Yes. Anyway. The boat? No. It is called Cordelati 19 because that's the type of sloop it is. It's a pleasure craft. A 19 pacer. It also happens to be rated for Category 1 racing. Though my sloop, I like it a lot. It's the eel...
I'm enjoying this part of the interview. It has so little...
I really do, the lieutenant thinks. Is she thrown off yet? He's looking at the woman, assessing her.
Officer.
The Crown, her nonchalance might be related.
Good. Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets. I believe the official title is Senior Labor Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands to Wild Pines and return with Wild Pines' counter...
And how are the talks going?
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all... Now they won't even let me into the harbour. There's a 2-meter 20 racist behemoth blocking the gates. Let's say I was not making the kind of progress...
And when did you first arrive?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then.
But the strike began in December.
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the...
This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike?
Heavens no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time their demands are more, I guess you could say...
Ludicrous even. It's meant.
There are leaflets everywhere, and banners. What did they say again? Every worker.
Most of the workers probably don't know what that means.
In its defense, another said, demand democracy. Pretty tame stuff compared to every worker. Fortunately, they explained it. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision about anything, it needs the signature of each of the 2,200... Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, They are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group. That may well be. It's not up to me to decide who is king, but as negotiations go, I'm not sure. Naturally, I assume that was just their opening position, a hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. But there's been no follow-up, just the same nonsense. And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in rags, it is...
Excuse me, from whom did you hear about this lynching?
I first heard it from the boyer at the gates. The one whose very name advertises his aversion to work.
This checks out.
Mr. Clare told him to... how did he put it? Fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature, you see. Keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him and the...
Sounds like usual aggressive posturing.
The scabs? You mean the huddled masses of Jamrog, come to plead for work where the Union refuses to? If they were organized by Wild Pines or its affiliates, then it would be a company secret.
It's implied. She's open to discussing this matter with you at a later.
Everard Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. If you can say one thing about him, of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood. He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's his twin brother. Yes, Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like... It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues. The Débardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution. 20 years ago, anyway. It must not have been easy to establish organized labor at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The brothers Clare came and transformed it into a... how do you say?
A mob. The Débardeurs are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be.
Refreshingly honest, officer. The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid our concessions have only emboldened Everard. And your opinion, detective, if I may ask? I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Débardeurs Union is... Of course, officer. I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous forewoman of the Union. She disappeared.
Disappeared?
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore, or coming to work. Ever. End of story. Downright haunting, if you ask me. The Wild Pines suspected foul play. The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen around the Clares. Watch out when you're dealing with him.
Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine.
There are leaflets every...
Most of the workers probably don't know what that means.
Then you might also like their other slogan. Demand. Personally, I don't think it has... It's quite simple, you see. Every time the Wild Pines Group... Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of... They're having a blast, I'm not sure. And now, people are getting lynched, I hear.
Excuse me.
I first...
This checks out.
There are leaflets everywhere.
Most of the workers probably don't know what that...
In its defense, just so you understand, this is but one... I'm not sure. And now...
Excuse me.
I first...
This checks out.
The scabs, if they were organized by...
It's implied. She's open to...
Everard Clare? Of course not. Everard is fantastic. He is the most corrupt individual I have ever... Yes, it's how they circumvent the... Of course. Of course. How else can I help? what we do.
There was a touch of discomfort there. She wants to merely represent.
The Pines' core competency is logistics. Container shipping, freight, that sort of thing. And that is the terminal. Another subdivision.
The Wild Pines Group is one of the original Revacholian Indo tribes. Companies awarded. She nods.
Quite a few things, I'm afraid. The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your name.
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. And this is my colleague from Precinct 41. I'm afraid he doesn't have his badge at the moment.
How curious. Why is that, Detective?
Awkwardness washes over the conversation. The woman doesn't like this turn of events.
I see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode? I can't hear you, darling. Speak up, please. Oh dear. I suppose this does explain some of the more curious turns in our conversation.
She must have been suspecting something for a while now.
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very
Of course, I sympathize. But I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more.
Hang on. She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement. I mean, favors for favor. Consider this. Perhaps she has been planning it all along. That you convince yourself into colluding with her. Easy. Just offer her a favor. Like I said, nice and dirty.
I will be frank with you. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to justify it to my superiors. They're going to want to see something very tangible.
You're in, but expect her to drive a hard bargain.
Reports from inside Terminal B suggest it's a hub for the local drug trade. This is an open secret in Martinez. The Union controls the terminal, so it goes to reason. The company has tried looking into this matter before, to no avail. Perhaps someone with your authority and resources might turn over the right stones. Or you can recover your badge. Though if I may be blunt with you, it sounds like that may be a lost cause.
Detective, a word in private before we continue. This is not going quite as I hoped it would, Detective. Honestly, I was expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance, and not volunteer us to be her henchman. This woman is running circles around us. She might have known about your misplaced badge all along, or she's simply an adept improviser. Either way, we've played straight into her hands.
He doesn't let it show, but there is a limit to how much the consequences of your unprofessional behavior can cost the investigation.
It would not hurt if you tried more in the future, yes. Yes. Knowing this does not really change our position, however. No. If there is reasonable suspicion, we must investigate. Otherwise, she could claim we are siding with the Union, or that we are on their take. What I propose is, we ask her, then we investigate, briefly. But do not share the outcome of this investigation with her. We tell her it's done, and demand for her information on the lynching. Oh, that would be fantastic, but do we have the time? The world is lost.
The situation might have changed drastically.
You could request a new one from your station, but that would literally take months.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? It's quite straightforward. Someone is using Terminal B to smuggle raw ingredients from the Samaran Isola into Revachol with the
Ingredients for what?
meth and dextroamphetamine, GBL, and various synthetic psychedelics. Honestly, it might be quicker to say what you can't make from the stuff. Yes, but you won't get anything out of Evrat and the Dock Workers Union. Still, every chain has...
The handoff. The motor lorries at the roundabout.
Precisely. Someone needs to move the ingredients from the harbour into the city. Once they reach Jamrock, they're distributed to a network of local manufacturers well beyond our grasp. But in
How convenient that they're stranded like beached whales at that roundabout.
Perhaps you've noticed that a number of lorries are tangled in a traffic jam at the roundabout just now. Interview the drivers who are still hanging about. One of them might be waiting for a crucial shipment. I'll be explicit. If you find this driver, I will share company secrets. We did. On more than one occasion. Apparently...
We know the company has launched its own probe into the Union's alleged involvement. We also know it's come up empty. It's not just the RCM. No one's been able to find any hard evidence.
Well, here's your chance, officers. How do you think they're financing this strike?
There was a shakedown of local businesses preceding the strike.
With all due respect to these desert cacti, the contents of a few cash registers cannot provide for 2,000 men. The local businesses can scarcely provide for themselves. Precisely. Smuggled out of that very gate at night most... No. We asked East Motor Track to raise the drawbridge. This is a limited time opportunity. Once the complaint has been processed by the Trade Committee, they'll have no choice but to lower the drawbridge, and the operation will continue. Thousands of litres of raw ingredients will pour onto the streets of Revachol. Not the east across the river, but the west.
Well, at least this solves one mystery.
What is that, Lieutenant?
Why I had to call East Motor Track and beg them to open the drawbridge for me.
I am sorry for the inconvenience, Lieutenant Kisaragi, but we need them trapped here. This is a unique opportunity, yes? Excellent. It may come to nothing, or it may just blow the case wide open. I can keep the drawbridge up for a few more days at least. You should have the time you need. In the meantime, let me know if there's any other way I may be of assistance. This...
Yes, reality is your side, an experimental side case.
How truly curious. A sort of philosopher-detective.
Are they now?
A deep synthesis.
All right, we're in. I know these all look good, but begin with the first, okay?
We're in Martinez, baby. A casual term of endearment popular among the 50-plus crowd. It's a disco holdover, pay it. Martinez is a district of Revachol. A very small district tucked away near the industrial harbour. You would be excused for not knowing about it. Unimportant, they say. Forgotten, even. Shelled to sm...
विचारते हजार
हजार लागते 1400 तर ते 1200
आपण 1400 ची घेतली कोटची ही चांगली आहे ना पण ही 1000 ची कशी मग जास्त असते 1000 ची 1000 का काहीतरी तेव्हा 2000 ची मला बघायला लागेल काय करते आपण देते काय सी हाताने घातला आवाला हातात टाईट वाटतं
Smithereens during the revolution. It has its charms, just not this time of year. I would be happy to. These are unimportant times, Detective. You and I were born after the dust had settled. 1,000th of a second too late. For the big time. The revolution. It's quite easy. Every 100 years or so, our species gets together to decide what's next. Who gets shot in the head, and who gets the mineral rights. It's a real kerfuffle. They are... Anyway, enough sentimentality. Is there anything else you want? What I am not is a basic...
There may be a way to get her speaking about herself at some later juncture.
A bird? A sphenicid? Some sort of krill hunter? Of course you're not, my dear. I'm just terrible at guessing games. Ah. This or two. A pre-revolutionary tenement. Old buildings are called tenements, you see. And new buildings, bâtiments. After les bâtiments nouveaux.
Okay, I'm bored now.
But
Honestly
33A and
speaking.
33B are not nouveau.
So, what do? We play Battlefield now. अरे यार